The ravens of Old Crow see what's happening. People getting ready to go to the mountain. Hunters long worried, now energized. Because look, up there on the range, the porcupine caribou herd finally spotted. Inexplicably late, arriving here in curiously smaller numbers, but to be seen at all, a relief. Charging ahead, Old Crow's Deputy Chief Paul Josie, a dad and hunter anxious about changes in the landscape, some so simple.
You see where the caribou kind of come down this way?
I guess if you've got a big caribou snout, it's easier, right?
And their hooves.
Digging around for snow-buried lichen, the caribou's crucial food. Problem is, when the weather's warmer, rain or wet snow forms ice on top of it.
So if the ice forms over the lichen, then the caribou can't get it, eh?
Well, right now they got so much snow to remove, and that burns energy. And then they hit that layer of ice.
Yeah.
And then they got to break the ice just to get to the plants.
So it's not worth it for them.
It's harder because they're trying to conserve as much energy.
Food blocked by ice can steer them away from these grounds. So can this willow shrub choking the trails. This may be part of why the caribou's patterns seem to be shifting.
Climate change, a lot of water is coming down and it also dries up, but there's also a lot of growth because we have longer periods of warmth, and a lot of the soil's got a longer active layer, so the willow just grows rapid and grows thicker. It's taking up a lot of nutrients. Like, animals can get through it, but not easily, that they'll try to avoid it, and that changes their path.
And the shrub is everywhere, crowding out berry patches. Some berry harvests were thin this year after a record-breaking hot, dry summer. The apparent effects from a shifting climate visible mountainside and in the exceptionally low riverbeds. The Chinook and chum salmon haven't returned in needed numbers. The warmer, wetter conditions leading to more permafrost thaw, drained lakes and slides, known as thaw slumps. This land is struggling. Enough that Old Crow became among the first Indigenous communities to declare a climate emergency in 2019, which means anxiety for those who live here about food insecurity and what may be next. Lorraine Nitro, raised in Old Crow, an elder now. Hanging on to traditions and a thought. Climate changes may not be entirely of this community's doing, but part of any solution is just outside her window, an ambitious solar project.
What do they offer you here?
They offer us clean energy. We've always been diesel reliant. We live in the Arctic, so in the summertime, in the summer months, we have 24 hours of daylight. And so this is really the perfect opportunity.
This is in your front yard, right? These solar panels. This is not natural. This is not a natural part of the landscape.
It took some getting used to. I look out my front window and this is what I see. The solar project right on our berry patch. We had to make that decision as elders in this community and how are we going to be part of this solution. When they were turned on this past spring, and I felt a sense of pride. And blueberry.
Is it any wonder? Because through a climate-conscious lens, there's an uncomfortable reality here. Like all off-grid northern communities, Old Crow relies on diesel, which is flown in several times a year. Fuel burned just to bring in more fuel. The emissions produced from using all that diesel equivalent to 500 transatlantic flights a year. The constant low hum, that's the community's soundtrack for nearly 5 decades. But when the solar panels turned on this summer, the generators turned off for the very first time. That will mean a savings of 189,000 liters of fuel over a year. Old Crow can go further, is gathering data on wind power to get through the dark winters. And even that annoying willow shrub happens to be an excellent biofuel. Determining how to harvest it is the next project. Just maybe the diesel generators will soon turn off entirely.
We're just trying to make these changes to start a ripple effect, that we can make these changes, a small little community up in the north, to make these big changes that we could try and make our difference and our impact.
And when that's on the ground, then it freezes over, it covers the...
At a camp on the mountainside, elders like Lorraine and young leaders talk of the future. Regardless of what the rest of the world does, Old Crow vows to be carbon neutral by 2030.
But I do believe that in the future, like, this is the only fighting chance that we have, because like the reality is you won't be able to depend on gas forever. Like, everybody knows that, and losing my train of thought with the shots.
It's such a good sound. Faint pops of gunshots in the distance entirely change the mood. They know the hunters have succeeded.
You know that we still practice our way of life, and the land is our teacher.
Absolutely.
And just hearing those shots, it's really emotional.
Yes.
Those who hunt feeling responsible for making sure all of Old Crow eats this winter, knowing the herd may be here fleetingly. Whatever they gather, they share. Good news for the ravens, too.
It's really fills my heart with joy. You know, I got 3 grandsons, and they like the taste of caribou and moose, and there's certainly going to be chow in tonight, that's for sure.
Mary Jane Moses, so emotional at the sound of those shots, so calm at home working with the meat.
Is pride the right word to describe how you might feel about your community and the innovations?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, really. I hope that when people see this on TV, that they get motivated to make change in their community, and good changes, and so that we can adapt to climate change and still practice our way of life.
This is the balance they want, and the balance they know the rest of the world needs. And just maybe Old Crow has to lead the way.